80s currently here, high a day on Meta. Nvidia as well catching a little bit of a bid, but Apple looking distinctly different, relatively weak. We saw Apple being relatively strong while everything else was selling off. Now everything is kind of catching a bid, and guess who's selling off? Apple. A little bit distinctly different.
Grin. Here's what I'm looking at today, guys. The small cap gappers are coming in, just throwing in one ticker. Donald John Trump is in play today. It's not the biggest mover on the day, but that's a hell of a good looking chart pattern there. Higher highs, higher lows. I've got a trade set up on this one. I'm looking to take this at 25. I've set up a dip trade at 10s and 5s. The reason I put my 5s there is to front run 25, but when I looked a little bit more, it looks like 10s was being supported, and now it's going away. It's breaking out right now into that $0.25. It's a 4 penny spread, 2 penny spread here, so not a bad look. Certainly on Donald John Trump today, but it looks like it might be getting away from me. So that's what I'm looking at right now, DJT. I'm also very interested in CCG. Look, it's not a big boy mover, but it's up 31%. Good looking chart pattern as well, but this concerns me up here. I don't like these wide ranging candles. The range per candle is quite wide here given the price. $1.25 at the high, and then low, and then 150 at the high there. I mean, that's quite wide. Now, why does that matter? Because it has to influences your profit-taking placement as well as your stop placement. But it's very respectful, it seems, of the 10 exponential moving average. That is always going to be the solid green line on my chart. So I'm keeping, DJT's breaking out, bro. 25 and a third. It's really getting away from 25. So I won't get that fill, sadly, at the whole dollar in the 10 penny level. That's fine. We'll look to do either a little bit better on DJT, set up a little bit way, or we'll look for something else. So CCG in focus. So is ASPI. It's setting up a bull flag over here. It's up 25%, but this volume drop off down into the right in the volume, not my cup of tea. It's holding up at, it seems like here, 5.25. I don't know. I could definitely have a trade on this with a tight stop below 520, something like that. I'll have to give this one a bit more of a look. MULN, Mullen, absolutely in play. There's a compression pattern afoot right now with lower highs but higher lows. So this is kind of looking like a bull pennant, right? With a really large pennant and a very small pull, because the pennant's taking up a lot of the pull size over here. But the point is, it's compressing. So try to get in. If you're going to get in on Mullen, try to get in at the lower end of the range. It seems to be respecting this trend line here from the low side. So I'd try something near the $4, $4.10, $4.15, something like that on MULN. I'll probably be setting up a trade soon on that if it holds up. Now, I would be remiss if I told you to use VWAP here as a sort of line in the sand of whether you get in the trade or not. Oftentimes you've heard me say I won't trade a small cap gapper if it's trading south of VWAP. Well, yes, that is 99% of the time that's true, but Mullen, not your typical small cap gapper, nor is it respecting VWAP, okay? VWAP here, which is the white line on the chart, kind of looks like the line of best fit as opposed to an area support or resistance. So it's kind of going through the middle of the price action. So don't use VWAP as your entry or exit, or doesn't seem like it is the appropriate thing to do. Last but not least, in terms of small cap gappers, PDSB. Like, this is a little bit light on volume, guys. I mean, it's a dollar a name. It's only done 2 1/3 million shares. So the volume might not be there. And the volume's quite erratic, too. Not every candle has similar amounts of volume. You'll get an outsized candle over here with 350, and then you'll get this candle here with 50,000 shares, that is. So PDSB in focus, but definitely not my favorite. HIMS. Obviously, I'm looking at HIMS. I'd rather look at hers, but you know what I mean? Like, I'm looking at HIMS over here. Hey, get it, Joe. Joe's over there having a good time, bro. Shout out to Joe, man. Killing it with Katina man this morning on
he's doing a good job,
He's killing it, bro. He's a natural at it.
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah, so this one kind of breached VWAP over here. It dropped that at 42 1/4. It's doing the dance right now with 44. I'm kind of worried that this might manifest into a double top. But if we break above that 44 1/4, I'll feel a little bit better about that. So HIMS certainly in focus for me today. Obi?
Yes,
what
sir.
is your look over there, my boy?
I'm kind of watching the markets here as well, taking a little bit of a pullback after that strong push off of the open. Oh boy, what a bid we got, right? And yeah, I was talking about some of these tickers here on watch, and we will take a look at those right after we get back from Adair.
Take a look here at Chevron here, CVX. I'm seeing some reports coming through here. Apparently, the company is open to buying Phillips 66 chemical stakes. So keep an eye on PSX as well. Phillips 66. Apparently, Chevron open to buying Phillips's stake here in chemicals, and PSX actually moving up on this catalyst. Also, I'm seeing some posts here about Peloton right now, and it is getting a little bit of a spike as well. Hello, Buddy. I guess this is a Peloton-related site posting that Peloton has updated its U.S. website with a notice indicating that the Peloton trend is experiencing higher demand, leading to longer than usual delivery times. So Peloton Tread, so popular, delivery times getting a little bit slower here, guys. Also, keep an eye out. I will be sharing brand new Nvidia and Jensen Huang infographics all day ahead of Nvidia earnings. We've got a couple in the works already. Back to you.
Yeah, well, I feel
Thank you very much, Adara.
Thank you very much for that, Adara. Yeah, guys, I'm sorry I'm not in a position. I was just telling Obe right now, nothing is to my liking. I'm literally looking at all the small caps that I have on the side. I'm displeased with all of them, whether because they're not setting up the right way or the volume is bupkis. So we'll try to weasel in. I'm still leaving my $25 dip trade on Donald John Trump here active. I'm setting up 2 dip trades here, one at 10s, one at 5s, 25.05, 25.10 Obe. But it probably behooves me to keep looking at CCG, not CGC, not that marijuana company, CCG, okay? It's defending the volume weighted average price. It's got higher lows. It seems like it has a flat top in and around $1.40, even though we've got a high day of $1.50. Look at the closing prints on the 5. Every single one of them, either at or lower than $1.40. But all the while, we're putting in higher lows. What the hell does that mean? That means buyer exuberance. They're picking it up, buyers that is, picking it up at higher and higher levels every single time. This is what we call a possible flat top break. I don't have the animation. I'm not going to hit the flat bottom break either. For that, I appreciate you, Joseph. All right, so I'm setting up a dip trade here on your boy CCG, and I'm gonna layer the orders though, because I'd like to be able to get, my beak wet a couple of times. And here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna get in right now. But it's going to be for smaller shares. And what we're going to do is we're going to work our way into this position. We're in at the highs. We look like a schmuck. Work it, Sharif. Oh, but I never thought I'd hear you say that. But it's all good.
Oh, boy.
So that's what I'm waiting for right there. I'm involved now at $1.39, so I'm a schmuck punching it at highs. But I'm telling you guys what the plan is. I do plan on planning my DCAs. Not random because I'm out of the money, but I'm planning DCAs right now into that $1.30. I'd like to pick up some up here. Let's see what comes. Obi, he is the one. Konobi, what's going on?
Yeah, some people in the chat asking me to look at Rivian. So yeah, let's take a quick look at Rivian. I was looking at Tesla as well. Oh, Lemonade. Hello. You looking nice over there. All right. Lemonade. I think it looks a little sweet for setup for a reversion here on Lemonade.
Okay, I changed my bet. I'm gonna have to double down here. I'm putting a couple of chips on Obi and a couple of chips on Adara.
I mean, you already know who I'm betting on.
I'm sticking with my bet, bro. I'm sticking with Adara, bro.
Trades on the nicey. Okay, so Lemonade with a little bit of a pullback here. 32s are those highs. So we're about a point away from those highs. But okay, I'll keep an eye on you because, yeah, you are looking pretty sweet there. And Rivian, though, you guys want me to take a look at Rivian? Rivian 1202 highs. Again, we see that Rivian's been selling off. A lot of these EVs back-to-back days of strong selling here. Do we see more of the same? Right now, $12.02 is the high a day. A little bit of a held level there as of right now, but you can see since earnings, we've been kind of downtrending there on Rivian, making lower highs and lower lows. Do we see more of the same today? I don't know. We'll have to see if we can get above this $12 level, but this VWAP seems pretty interesting here. Oh boy, Sharif.
Dara's threatening you in the chat.
Oh, okay, all right. Well, I'm always up for a challenge. That's what I'm saying. I'm always up for a challenge. Lemonade is coming in right now.
Baby.
What is it Dara saying? That's pretty okay. But I will sour your chances at the pun challenge when I win.
She punned in the threat, bro.
Victory. Okay, all right.
She punned in the threat.
Oh my God.
I love it. Get it, Dara.
Don't worry.
All right, we're having a good time on the show today, guys. All right.
I'm taking notes, Sharif. I'm taking notes. You know, she's a formidable opponent, but
She is,
you know, I think I believe in myself as well. So there's also a part of that. XPEV to the downside as of right now. I did not punch more at 22s where I was looking at it. I'm like, all right, I kind of am willing to get some more size into the 22 break. But oh boy, all right, that's okay. Where's the next trade? Let's let this one kind of cook here. Lows to the upside here as of right now. So let's see what they're selling on this ticker here. So right here, look at that reversion, right? Strong action on that initial push, all the way up to 254s, comes into the reaction lows here off of the open. Nice little dip into 242s, but then all the way back up to 252. So absolutely wild action there. Nice little reversion happening on lows. I'm also looking at a few other earnings names. So we were just talking about Lemonade there. So Lemonade taking a little bit of a pullback. So let's take a look at LMND as well. This is what I was talking about. Very aggressive strength off of the open. This is kind of the first bit of relief that we're getting here. Some selling coming in into prior day's lows. So again, gap down on that earnings report. The earnings report was pretty decent. Double beat on that one there. I don't know what their guide was like, but take a look at that. Bought it all back up off of the open there. Aggressive strength from 27s all the way to 32s there, Sharif. So very, very strong on Lemonade. And yeah, taking maybe poised for a little bit of a pullback here with this break in trend. I'm going to keep eyes on that one yet. Not set up just yet as well as I'm looking for. So yeah, I'm gonna be patient with that one. Maple Bear, so CART is also on watch for me today. Didn't really do what I was looking for. Again, we talk about this. I have all of these ideas in the pre-market session and some from last night as well. And I'm looking for these setups to come into play. And I'm like, all right, I'm looking specifically for a certain iteration of price action that that if I do get, or if I get something similar in and around that, then we can really smash and kind of swing at it if we do see it set up like that. But Maple Bear not really doing what I was looking for. Maybe I was looking for a little bit more of a stronger continuation to the downside. But again, things are not always going to be clean. We are still kind of chopping and churning, and let's see if we break this consolidation low going into the later half of the day. Work day as well, WDAY. Earnings. I would say earnings winner.
Yeah,
but because a double beat. Strong market taking it very nicely. We rip up from the undisturbed price of 256s on that catalyst all the way up to 288s in the pre-market today, but taking a little bit of a breather here on the pullback. So I did have an anchored here. If I'm not, okay, no, not yet, not on this one. So let's throw up that anchored here and see where that anchor lies, and let's make that a little bit more visible. I'll put it in black there, black and bold, so you can see that consolidation underneath that anchored as of right now here on workday. So I got that one on watch. Again, I was looking for that continuation off of the open. Did not happen. It sold off aggressively. So I'm like, all right, on to the next. And which one is the next one? And that would be Bud. And Bud was the one that kind of started doing what I was looking for. We saw that gap up. I'm looking for that continuation. We pull back into 59s. Failure to follow through below 59s reclaims that anchored, reclaims that VWAP, reclaims opening range prices where there were some interesting reserves on top of 59.
Interesting.
And we're taking a little bit of a pull up here. But again, like I said, this thing moves literally like molasses. It got about 4 pennies above pre-market highs, now taking a little bit of a pullback. So again, like I said, I've gotten rid of majority of the position on this initial test of 60s and 70s into those pre-market highs. Now just holding on to a little bit of a runner to see how that one goes. What's up, Adara?
We have a lot of Jensen Huang and Nvidia-themed infographics as I teased here ahead of earnings. And this one, actually, I have to thank Sharif for giving me the idea for this. So here's Jensen holding a chip, though not taking one out of an oven. And here's basically a look here at these Nvidia chips that are and are not allowed in China. So what's interesting here, their A800 and H800, these were initially allowed for China. In fact, they were actually manufactured for the Chinese market after the first export bans in September 2022, but then about a year later in October 2023, after, I think, being around for less than 6 months, then we had new export bans not allowing the A800 and H800. So these chips that were created for the Chinese market have now been banned from said market. H20, of course, is the allowed chip, and as we got reports from the information yesterday, apparently popping off in China. So interestingly enough, the Chinese government actually has been discouraging people from buying the H20 chip, though it is allowed. So interesting stuff here. I had a lot of fun making this graphic, and I do want to shout out Sharif for giving me the inspiration for this. Here's Jensen. We'll have to see if this is looking so green for Nvidia after the earnings report tonight. Back to the guys.
That's amazing, Adara. That was literally ridiculous. Thank you for doing that. And it's really important that we understand this if we're going to invest in Nvidia. Maybe not so much trade because we're looking at technicals, but we need to understand the investments. I want to tell you guys that 5-hour Lex Friedman podcast with those two AI nerds was ridiculous, okay? They show you the nuances of these chips. Like, they change very small things based on U.S. government specifications, but you can tell the advisors for those for the U.S. government didn't really understand fully what some of the, like, the cache or the DRAM specifically in one, they like reduced it in one, increased in the other. So the H20 was actually better for inference than training, but the H100 was better for training than inference. So a lot of nuance with those chips, and they mean different things. So if you're interested, if you wanna learn about Nvidia and the chip, the whole GPU AI processor thing, if you're gonna invest in it, it makes sense, at least to me, to understand what the hell you're investing in. And that's kind of why I'm saying that. Shout out to the nerds on Lex Friedman's podcast. 5 hours, bro.
Wow.
I listened to that beast over like a week and a half.
Okay, I was gonna say, did you do it in one sitting? Yeah, I would be like wild.
It's insane.
That's definitely some dedication if you can do that in a single sitting.
What are you talking about? Let's go. I'm just talking about selling chips. How's that commie? Calm down over there. All right, guys, I'm involved in HIMS. We just took out like 40 pennies there super quick. I got filled at the $0.50. I'm long 8s. I'm here for VWAP, okay? I still have a little bit of a dip trade here setting up at 42.80 because we know how these bad boys trade. Sometimes I respect VWAP, sometimes not so much. So I'm looking at de-risking here to the high side if I can next here at 55s here on HIMS. Let's see what this bad boy does. It is a lower high type situation. So anything below 42.50 and I'm gonzino. Why 42.50, Sharif? What the hell is happening over there? Well, have a look. That's the area trough. This could be a double top with that being the area trough of the neckline. And if that's the case, I don't want to hold it through that level. So that's what I'm doing right now. We're already profitable a little bit on him, still holding a couple of pieces on this bad boy. Let's see how it does. Get it, Adara. All right, so now I'm also involved, as I've shown you guys, with CCG. We're 1 penny in the money here. The point is to pick it up off the area lows. I perceive this to be doing higher lows with a flat top at $1.40. If that is the case, then I should, if I'm trading it correctly, be picking it up off the area low on that upward trend line. And that's what I did with that $1.34 ad. So let's see if this one wants to break above the level. I've also got my dip trades set up here on Donald John Pump. Okay, so Donald John today, he's moving up, and I don't know why, nor do I really care. But it's up to 25.35, the high. It's up 5 3/4. I'm looking for a 25 defend. I perceive this area over here to be a bit of a support zone since we chopped and churned between 25 and 25.15 for a hot minute. So I've set up my dip trade at 10s and 5s. Let's see if it wants to hold up there. We'll have to find out. I'm still not filled yet on DJT, but definitely looking at getting in at 25, 25, 25, 25. Copying a dare there, by the way. Shows us 21, 21,
21, yeah.
Right, but I'm born on the 25th, so I like that better.
Okay, yeah, no, I like. What's your favorite number, Sharif? Do you have
25.
You have 25? Okay, my favorite number for some reason happens to be 5, and again, 5 times 5.
I like 5 as well.
I like that.
I like 5 because I'm born in the 5th month.
Okay, all right.
You're like
July
21, 22, something like that. 27.
What?
Your birthday. You're
19th.
19, yeah.
Yeah.
Something
19th
like
of
21,
July. Yeah.
22, that's not that far. Like,
I'm like, damn.
27. I just remember you were at the end of July, right?
Yeah, no, I'm so horrible with birthdays. I only remember my own and one of my best friends as well because he happens to be on the same day.
Fair.
It's because he happens to be on the same day. I'm
so
like,
you don't get any credit for that.
yeah, exactly. I was like, well, I'm just like, we just happen to be born on the same day. We never knew that until much later on in our life.
Are you similar to him, or is he distinctly different?
What do you mean in terms of age?
Oh, you have born on the same day. Do you have similar personality?
I think we have things that are similar, things that are distinctly different. I'd say a little bit of both, but yeah.
Another person who's distinctly different.
Yes.
Adara LePage.
Position there, Sharif. We're going to take a look here now at DJT because I didn't want to mention Sharif. I looked into it because I was curious after what you said. There's a bit of a catalyst on this name. So I want to contextualize without getting too into it. Basically, Brazil has had some legal actions against Rumble, RUM, same kind of ideal as DJT. They basically champion free speech. Basically what happened was there was a situation where I guess Brazil had asked Rumble to take down some US-based users' accounts. They were asking Rumble to take down accounts from users in the US. An American judge then ruled that Rumble and Trump media did not have to listen to Brazil. So pretty confusing, but an American judge said, hey, Rumble and DJT, you do not have to listen to this order coming from Brazil with regards to a U.S. user. So after all of that hullabaloo, we did have Devin Nunes, the CEO of DJT, speaking out in support, basically saying that this ruling is a good stand for freedom, and they also congratulated Rumble. So that seems to be the catalyst on DJT. I apologize for the long-windedness of that. Back to you.
Through all the hullabaloo.
Yeah.
Like,
nobody likes the hullabaloo.
Very, very frustrating.
Yeah.
That's a great word. We're hitting it right there. It is, man. I mean, come on.
Word of the day.
We're not going to hit that for hullabaloo. I mean, when are you going to hit it? So it's kind of.
I don't know when the last time I've used that.
Yeah, I think me and the production team are like the only two people who have it. I don't know why, but in any event, we're going to wet our beak here on HIMS a little bit. I'm taking off my dip trade on this one, and I'm taking off my next beak wetter. I'm moving up the beak wetter. I don't feel that waiting for 43.60 is the right area. I'd like, boom, absolutely accurate decision. I'm going to wait up a little bit in the 80s, and if I get stopped out, I get stopped out. But I want something a little bit higher, showing me 69s now. I'm long even dollar now with the cost basis. So we're about 69, 70 pennies in the money right now on HIMS. Looking for a bigger move up though, but I am cognizant of the lower highs. Okay, so this is an area high here at around 44.5. Then we reject 44.20. Now it's showing me 71s. Let's see if this one wants to make a little bit higher at 44. It's a good entry here at 43. Let's see if we can weasel up a little bit more, extract a few more pennies. There it is, and boom, we'll take it out at 80 pennies right there. This thing is up 10%. Keep your eye on HIMS. There is a resistance level though at $40. I'll submit to you that we did do kind of a rounded top there, especially if you look at it at the 5. We put incrementally lower highs on this bad boy, so be careful trading this one. It's not too spready, though. I'll give this one credit. It's got a decent spread, 3 pennies on a $40 name. Yeah, and it's not too bad, Adair, to be quite frank with you. It's done about 25 million shares, though, so decent look. What's that?
It was great yesterday.
Not a bad look.
Yeah, I participated in that. I'm watching that. I got eyes on HIMS as well. But did a little bit of a day 2 move. But again, some of these day ones definitely have me a little bit more interested here. And we were talking about some of these China stocks off of the open. A little bit of a gap up on the Hang Seng there. We were talking about that yesterday on the show as well. A bit of a trend there on a bigger time frame. And we got that continuation here. And I'm looking at XPEV, but I'm looking at BABA as well. BABA kind of giving us a strong move. Look at this 3-minute chart off of the open. Nice little consolidation underneath some of those pre-market lows, and then a push all the way up to 141 from 138. So absolutely beautiful action there. XPEV as well. I'm getting a little involved in this one currently, but yeah, very, very strong move there on XPEV. It's up over about 8.5% currently, kind of consolidating underneath this 22 mark as of right now. So let's see where that one will go. And again, I'm going through some of these tickers that are doing the most volume on the day. And have you checked out ENVB? ENVB at all today. So it's the number one on my volume scanner right now, and it seems like this is right up Sharif's alley here.
Yeah.
So a little bit of a strong move there off of the open there, ENVB, and I'm sure Sharif can cover that one. They're a little bit better. But Nvidia with a strong trend to the upside, holding VWAP off of the open, a little bit distinctly different than some of the action we've been getting over the past few days here. Lucid to the downside. We know they reported earnings, so a little bit of a trend to the downside. SMCI, guess what, Sharif?
What?
They did file their 10K last night, and look at that, boom! So on that push of their 10K, absolute ripper all the way from 43.30s all the way up to 53.28. So yeah, a little bit of a consolidation chop here off of the open today, but yeah, doing some moves in the after hours on that 10K report finally being submitted there. Mullen as well. I know a lot of people like to trade this ticker. Mullen with a little bit of a shake and bake off the open. NEO, people were talking about NEO in the morning session here as well. NEO very, very strong push off of the open, pulls back into VWAP. What a clean hold of $4.50 there, Sharif. Nice, beautiful reversion back up towards some of those highs there. So yeah, we talk about a lot of opportunity. Palantir not really doing too much. Tesla, oh boy, I saw this quadunk while sitting at my desk, and I was like, oh boy, yeah, that VWAP selling definitely a little dominant on the day today. Look at that opening range low break there at 302.80s. Look at that, straight through. Just slices through that price, doesn't look back, like butter, absolutely beautiful. And 300 holding as of right now. I kind of talked about that 300 level yesterday. Kind of an interesting level, not only just on the intraday, but a higher time frame as well. I think that, it doesn't matter what I think, but high probability we're doing some transactions at 300, and you can see we've been using 300 as a bit of a magnet over the past couple, yesterday and today for now. Ford with a very strong push off the morning drive there as well. A bit of continuation. We saw yesterday it showed some strength up into the 950 mark, and today we're stepping up once again on Ford here. Some of these other names not really covering them. NU, I know this one was a little bit of an interest. Quite a few players there. I know they had earnings just a few days ago. Quadunk on their earnings, Sharif, but taking a little bit of a stair step back up here on new holdings as well. So regional banks on that one. Let's see what else. Anything interesting here? Rigetti. So Rigetti, again, can't forget the Rigetti. And Rigetti kind of still holding a bit of that downtrend. We know a lot of these thematic tickers have been taking a strong pullback. Again, very retail heavy, very involved in terms of doing relative volume as well on some of these thematics. But you got to remember, these things come in and out. Thematics are definitely very, very cyclical there. So yeah, we're seeing some of that happen on some of these quantum names, and maybe even some of the charging names. If you look at NNE and Oklo and what was the other one? SMR, things like that. Hood was strong yesterday on, I think they had some sort of catalyst maybe potentially, but doing some relative volume today, catching a little bit of a bid back into 50s. I got nothing else on the board. I'm trading what I want to trade. What is the next trade? Show me in the chat what you guys think that is. Right now, we're going to pass it back to Adira.
Keep an eye here on the NASDAQ as we consolidate from near all-time, or not all-time highs, as we consolidate near high of day. I apologize. We have Donald Trump commenting on inflation. So he said that inflation is, quote, stopping slowly, but saying that they have to get the prices of eggs and other things lower. So trying to lower the price of eggs amongst some other things while inflation is apparently stopping slowly. He also said that inflation is down in part because of high interest rates. So some comments coming through here from Donald Trump on inflation. Just be aware of this as we try to push into high of day for that NASDAQ. And again, Trump signing executive orders today at 3 p.m. So if Nvidia didn't provide enough excitement about an hour and 20 minutes before that, we're going to get Donald Trump coming through with some executive orders. Back to you.
All right. Shout out to what's his name? Zion freaking Lala for calling out Riley. Great call out there. One name that we know very well because we've been trading it on the show. It's breaking out right now. I didn't have eyes on this one. Bang. We take out some there. Where we long 42s. Now I'm waiting at 48s. I had a dip trade that went unfilled at 30s. Let's see if we can take out the $0.50 here on RILY, showing me 46s. Now 46 and 45 have been a sell zone over here. 47s now. Okay, wow. Someone got triggered with a monster sell order at 47 because the second it printed it, it went all the way back down, but right back up into about 44s right now. Now showing me 45s again. So the buyers are picking this up. RILY, it's up 30%. I'm trying to work into this without punching in like I was about to use an expletive, without a dummy at the high. So that's why I did DCA into that 35s, because punching into the $0.50 can be a little bit risque over here. So that's what we're keeping an eye on right now. I'm also still involved, obviously, in CCG, but that one is a bit of a slower mover. Tisha, I know you're talking about MULN. I'm trying to work my way responsibly into that. I feel like 4.25 is the right area to pick that up off right now. It is the down trend line, the support trend line from the bottom that I'm trying to base my trades off, but I got to keep my eye on Riley over here because it's right back down into my plain DCA at 5.30. Let's see if we can get the print. It's a 4-penny spread, which is quite displeasing on a $5 name. So we were 5.30 on the bid and 5.34 on the ask, and that's why I did not get printed there for the dip trade at 5.30. So I'm keeping my eye on that. I'm also keeping my eye, obviously, on CCG. Yeah, CCG, not CGC. Make sure we're getting that right, guys, because there are two different stocks. So I'm waiting for this one to either fill me, but how many shares do I have? Because I have to set up a stop for this one in case it gives up the ghost. There we go. So how many am I looking to buy over here? CCG, we're looking to buy how many? Okay, good. So then I can base my out on that. So then we're going to go just like this, and then we're going to go like that with this. Okay, so now the stop's in place. Good. Now I can focus a little bit on, no, that's HIMS. I don't want that. Where's my other one? Boom, right back to the high side. Goes Riley. Still unfilled, though. That person selling at 47s is still there, keeping this bad boy below the $0.50. And again, we reject at 47s. What kind of psycho puts a sell order at 47s? Well, who does that? I'm just bitter. So let's put an order out here at 47s. Maybe we can get the beak wet there because it's the seller's clearly front running the $0.50 here. I mean, I just won't be convinced that someone sells at 47, right? Clearly, you're trying to front run the $0.50. So let's see if we can get that move up right now. We're still long 42s because we didn't get the DCA into 30s, despite the fact that it came into 30s. So that's okay. There it is. We take out there. Perfect. Boom and boom. Both orders go. Now we're breaking up to the high side. And you bet your bottom dollar I'll be taking up some over here. If we can pop back up, please and thank you. There it is. So take that one out. Take it out. I'm so slow. I suck. Yeah, we'll take it out like that. Okay, fine. So anticlimactic. I thought I had the 58 prints there. All right, we're going to set up again, just like that. This one is coming back down like a psycho, though. Holy, this thing is... Riley's trading crazy right now. Riley's trading, but there's clearly a buyer here. Oh, look at this. 530 defend, 530 defend, another 530 defend. Yep. There is a big boy seller or a big boy buyer at 530. Okay, we just got filled on Donald John Trump. I saw that. Let's see now for the 25 defend. It's going to have to hold up here. I'm long 07s. It's showing me 9s. So we're 25 is going to have to be the level here for Donald John Pump. Let's see if this one wants to pop back up. How many? Okay, do I have? Great. So let's set up the stop. The stop has to go below that 85 penny level because there's a consolidative area there. So we're going to go ahead and go like this. And then we're going to take out everything into the 70 area there. So the stop's in place on Donald John Pump. So that's what we're looking at right now. Still dealing with this Riley madness as it continues to zig and zag into 530s. I should be setting definitely an order at 531 because the 530 orders are not getting filled. So that's what I'm involved in. 3 names right now. CCG, it's defending volume weighted average price OB. We're long Donald John Trump at 25. It's going to have to hold above that 24 3/4. And last but certainly not least, we're involved in RILY right now, zigging and zagging at that 5.5. What you got?
Yes, sir. So I'm still kind of just watching this XPEV here as it starts to bleed off a little bit. That morning momentum definitely kind of that buying dissipating a little bit here as we break some of that trend. But again, buyers were at VWAP. Let's see if we can get back down into VWAP here. VWAP at 2130s. So about a few pennies away from that one there. Yeah, market still consolidating in and around this 21,400 here on the NASDAQ and just above 6,000. We were looking at that 6,000 yesterday, Sharif, and we finally kind of got back above it pretty decently on the day today. And yeah, kind of just holding consolidation for the past, what is this, 1, 2, 3, 4 15-minute candles with about 3 minutes, just under 3 minutes left on this current 15-minute candle to print. And yeah, so my eyes are on XPEV. My eyes are actually on Lemonade as well. Like I said before, looking pretty sweet there, but pulling back kind of slowly, much more slowly than I was looking for here. But yeah, it is kind of working here. Let's see if we can pull it back down into VWAP or anywhere closer. That $30 level, a little interesting here. Maybe some re-engaging happening there as well for a potential long. But I got eyes on, nothing too crazy setting up just yet. Like I said, throw up in the chat, what tickers are you guys looking at? How many tickers have you traded as well? I want to know what trades you guys had in the morning session. We saw some solid moves there in the morning session. I know Joe was involved with the Amazon continuation, and I saw that as well. That was one of my that was a stock on my watch list as well last night. I was like, okay, oh boy, what a V-shaped recovery. I even mentioned it on the show yesterday. I was like, what a beautiful reversion, V-shape breaking past opening prices, breaking past opening range high on Amazon, high of day coming in at the end of the day with those imbalances, and absolutely beautiful continuation on the day today. Sure, it only gave you a couple of points. Majority of that reversion move happened yesterday, but that continuation off of those pre-market highs in the morning today, absolutely beautiful action there on Amazon. So shout out to Joe for having that trade there. And yeah, where is the next one? Tesla was also looking for that continuation. Tesla comes in strong flush off of the open, coming into a bit of a key level at that 294, 295 area, and continuing to consolidate underneath VWAP. So again, VWAP sellers have been a little bit dominant there on Tesla more often than not over the past couple of days, and even one would argue over the past couple of weeks here as we pull off of those all-time highs in on that 500 test. We went to 488s and some change and couldn't really get too far past that. So that is also on watch, but I'm going to let it chop around that 300, Sharif, because again, like I said, I think it's a little interesting. We'll let that price action form in and around that key level, and then we'll make a decision based off of that. Oh boy.
What happened?
Boy. All right. Remember I was talking about yesterday, TLT? Remember I was like, I'm like, but I'm not a bond trader though.
20-year?
That's a 20-year.
Yeah.
And look at what it's doing on a higher time frame. All I'm looking for is the tech. Whoa, there goes the markets. Strong flush on the markets. You can see that some teleportation happening on the futures here. Let's see if we can get. Yeah, tape teleportation. What was it? I think Luca used to say that. Luca, there. Shout out to Luca. We're gonna be seeing him this Friday.
Yeah, I know.
So he's coming by. So I'm excited. I'm excited to see.
And we're gonna see a lot of people. BPI is coming back. Yes, let's Luca
go.
Is coming
Luca's
back.
coming.
Have a whole bunch of the older traders.
Steph is gonna be here. Max is gonna be here. So yeah, you're gonna see some.
Where's the Lambo? Can we get the Lambo?
Where the Lambo
Where's he
at,
bro? Show there.
Max is gonna pull up in his Lambo on Friday. That's what's happening, right?
I believe that.
Yeah, for sure.
I believe that.
Yeah, excited for Friday for sure. But yeah, continuation on TLT. That's what I was talking about earlier. So let's take a look at a higher time frame here on the hourly and look at what TLT's been up to. TLT a little bit of a bid up now. I'm sure there's reasons for this or whatever. But the thing is, my reason is just a reason to buy. Look at this, prior highs right here from December. This consolidation, we come back down, and look at this. Doesn't this look a little bit head and shouldery to you here? If I kind of draw that in right there, there's a shoulder, there's a head, there's a bit of a shoulder right here.
The downtrend that precedes it.
Yeah, exactly. The crack of trend.
Yeah.
So you can do a lot of technicals on this or whatever, but the fact of the matter is we rejected this price. This is why I really like this breakout, especially yesterday. Look at this quadrunk that we had in the beginning of February. Right, we attempt to push that $90 level, get up to 90 halves, and then flush all the way back down. But we hold that shoulder from 87s and 86s and some change, and now we're coming back up into this level. So I saw that gap up consolidation happening in yesterday's action. So I'm like, all right, continuation on the board for TLT. I did not get involved in that trade yesterday, but take a look at this. This trade is happening on a higher time frame, Sharif.
Yes,
this continuation is happening once again today, and I'm sure if I go down to a lower time frame and go to a 3-minute chart, we're holding that VWAP as of right now. So let's see what TLT does if it really gives us a strong continuation. But right now, we have Adara with happening now.
We do. We're going to talk about the market, but Sharif, I might have another small cap name for you. I don't know if this is on your radar, but PDSB just popping up on my radar here on this scanner. We've got about 3.3 million shares of volume today, and they have an 11.3% short float. Sharif, 11.13. I don't have a catalyst in this. I just pulled up the chart. I'll take a look, but worth noting, it might be another small cap on watch. Let's take a look here at the market. S&P 500 pretty removed here from day's highs around that 599.50. We did not get to 600, but the NASDAQ really nice here, holding up. I mean, still removed from day's highs, but holding up nicely above 1%. Nvidia is the star of the show, but some of these other tech heavyweights like CrowdStrike having a really good day today as well. We know Nvidia has this tendency to really move the market, so check out their report, but they're not going to be the only heavyweight reporting after the bell tonight. We have Snowflake, we have CRM, Salesforce. We're also going to be having Beyond Meat, and we're going to be having C3 AI. It's a pretty stacked one. You can check out the earnings board on X at TTV Research. We posted a couple of days ago for more info on that. Now, let's take a look at AAPL as well, because this name had quite the day. If you missed it, they actually halted. This $300 ticker halted this morning just due to the volatility here. We sold off pretty aggressively after we had short reports from both Fuzzy Panda and Culpert, though we've given up a decent amount of that move. Tesla also on watch here. If you did not realize it yesterday, we actually lost the $1 trillion market cap. So TSLA now back below $1 trillion and currently below $300, guys. Back to you. Make sure to like and subscribe. Check us out on social media, Trader TV Live and TTV Research if you like some fun research-related content. Back to you.
It's excellent research content. Adara, shout out to you. You're doing a fantastic job. Obviously, it goes without saying, giving us very important data in the form of infographics. I love a way that people love. So why not? And
I'm a very visual person.
Yeah,
I like a lot. Like
I would
very
agree.
clearly, like I interpret a lot of visual data, and I like doing that. So I think those infographics definitely a great way to display important information.
And we got to tell everybody that the YouTube account, or sorry, not the YouTube, the Twitter account X account for Trader TV Live is being run by Adara. It is our research account. This is where she's putting all that information out there. Trader TV Research on X, correct?
Yes.
TTV Research.
I'll pull up, I'll pull up the actual account so we can get that tag there, so you guys can go and give it a follow here. Let me just log into my.
Hold on, you're not following it?
No. I'm saying, let me pull it up. So you guys can give it a follow. Of course I'm following.
I remember Arun,
what do you mean?
When he was on the show one time, and it was like, we were talking, we're like, oh, Arun, how come the chat isn't up? People are asking you questions. And he hit the subscribe button. We're live on the show. It's like, you weren't subscribed to the show? You're on the show, and you're not subscribed to the show, so we called him out for that, obviously. We're going to be doing that all the time. All right, guys, we're doing really well here on Riley, man. Goodness gracious, this one defends at 530 like a dang glove. We take out some at the $0.50. You better believe I'm waiting in the high 50s, but this is where we rejected last time. So what's my price? 31s. It's showing me 55s. We did double top last time over here. So if I'm a bad trader, but I will take out some more over here on RILY. Let's see if it rejects this area and then what it does. We're also in Donald John Trump, and bang, we take out more at the $0.05 of a dollar on Donald John Pump. We're long 6s. We've taken out 15s. We've taken out 20s. Now I'm waiting at 25s on DJT. It held the $25 area like a glove. An extension of that, it was also the 20 exponential moving average. Not a level that I typically use with these small cap gappers, but hey, when they conflate with another technical area of support, we'll use them. I think it gives it more credence there. So DJT looking for a move up into that $0.25 there. So please, as dang punch. The one that's doing nothing right now, and the one that I was waxing poetic about right now, is CCG. We were talking up a storm about this. Oh, look at the higher lows and the flat top, this, that, and the other. I don't know, bro. It's kind of a little bit right now. It's defending the volume weighted average price, but what it's doing now is it's done with that flat top $1.40 area that we're talking about, and now it's putting in lower highs. So I'm worried that the exact opposite of what I was predicting, a flat top breakout, manifests here and ends up being a flat bottom breakdown. I don't want that. That is not what I'm looking for there. And there's the other print on Donald John pump. We take out the $0.25 there. Let's hang out at the third of a dollar now. So we're going to basically be near highs because that is near the high. 35s, 25, 35 HOD on DJT. I'm front running it by a couple of shekels in case resistance does show up there. It's up 5 4/5, 6% now. It's making me look bad. Every time I talk about it, it changes its price. But a good look right now on DJT. It holds 25 well. Let's keep an eye on that. I see you, Tisha. I see you. I know you're talking about MULN. I got it. I like Mullen. Let's talk a little bit more about Mullen here because Tisha's probably printed up a storm on MULN, and I'm sitting here like a bad word, not doing anything. So I like this, Tisha, and this has been very respectful. And I was trying to tell you this earlier that I would really like it off that lower support trend line right there. It's been awfully respectful of that. I have no inclination whatsoever to use VWAP in this trade. As I mentioned, in my humble perception over here, VWAP looks like a line of best fit as opposed to an area support or resistance. So I'm quite interested on picking it up down here. Now, I haven't because I've been involved in all